North Korea is considered a big headline risk. Let's talk about that. You have been very passionate about nuclear nonproliferation. How worried are you about Kim Jong-un? He is a despot. He's arguably insane. And he now sailed a missile over Japan yesterday.
Well, if you aren't worried about it, you've checked your brains at the door. I mean, why does a poor country, relatively poor, want to spend a significant amount of percentage of its budget developing ICBMs that can hit the West Coast? I mean, that's not what I'd be doing for my people if I ran a country. And so obviously you have to worry about it, but you have to worry about a lot of other things too in the field of weapons of mass destruction.
Do you think President Trump and his administration are handling the North Korean situation well?
I don't think you ever know from the outside. I mean, in terms of the intelligence you get and the advice you get, I mean, it'd be crazy to put everything you know out in the paper if you're a government dealing with that. I mean, even during the Cuban Missile Crisis or anything like that, you don't want to operate on the front page if you're dealing with. Well, we kept the atomic bomb secret, didn't we? I mean, when I woke up that day to deliver a paper in August of 1945, I had no idea what an atom bomb was. And, I mean, that was kept secret for a remarkable period of time. So there are things you do not want to talk about if you're a government in the paper.
Are you changing your strategy at all? Are you making any decisions based on the potential of North Korea?
No.
None at all?
No. Well, that doesn't mean I think it's unimportant. I just think it's an unknowable.
Let's go to leadership. Lately, we've seen a lot of CEOs speak out against or actually remove themselves from President Trump's panels or their, groups of businessmen, etc. It seems there's a trend now where CEOs are making moves based on their own personal morals. And I'd like to know your thought on that. Should CEOs speak up, or should they simply really focus on what's best for their shareholders? I'm not saying the twain never shall meet. What do you think?
I've told the shareholders of Berkshire that I'll do a lot for $100,000 a year, which is my salary, but I will not put my citizenship in a blind trust. I think I am perfectly entitled as running a company with 1 million shareholders to raise money for Hillary Clinton, to work for, to speak for, to vote for. But I also think that, in general, there's no reason because I lose in a given election, my candidate loses, which has happened to me multiple times, both when I supported Republicans and Democrats, that I should be attacking an administration or anything of the sort. I think if I can be helpful in some big way, I mean, there's nothing presently at all, but there could be a situation would develop. I'd do it. I'd do it for President Trump. I'd do it for Hillary Clinton if she got elected. I think you shouldn't accept positions generally where you think conditions might occur where you are going to resign. I just think you should stay away from that.
Tax reform. Gary Cohn, whom you know, he's now, of course, the National Economic Advisor to the President, former Goldman Sachs President, and Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, are putting the finishing touches on tax reform. They say they will hold on to 3 deductions: mortgage, charitable, and retirement funds. Do you think this can work? Well,
I've never heard anybody describe a tax move as tax reform if their own taxes were going to increase. So I don't think we're talking about tax reform. Reform for one person, something else to the other person. What it looks like we're moving more and more toward is an overall tax cut, and that isn't where we started. We talked about being revenue neutral originally, but I think that the politics has developed in such a way and the calendar in such a way that if you're going to get anything done reasonably fast, it can't be a 1986 type massive reform act. So I think I think if we see a tax change, it isn't necessarily tax reform. It'll be a tax cut, and
a lot of people would like that.
It'll be called tax reform.
Well, a lot of people would like that. They would have more money in their pockets, including the middle class, to spend.
That's why that probably will happen.
Possibly. Do you think it'll get done in 2017?
I think there's a pretty good. I probably think there's more of a chance of that than most people think. But
why?
Well, I think the Republicans need one, and I think that if you don't make it too complicated and try and really change the code in a massive way, I think probably can get it done.
Have you ever seen this much divisiveness in Congress?
Well, I've seen a lot over the years, and where people think it's extreme. But now you've got the Republicans fighting the Republicans. I mean, it's a dream situation for the Republicans to have both houses of Congress and the president, just like it would be for the Democrats. And they've had enough. I mean, they would have gotten further if they'd been better at working together than the present situation has been.
One last conclusion. Are you building a bomb shelter?
Listen. I'm feeling so lucky that at 87, I get to live the life I live and do what I love every day with people I love, and I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I've been very lucky.